Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, you just can't get ahead? You get paid, pay bills, and then do it all again. You see, that cycle is called the rat race, and most people live their entire lives trapped in it. But you see, the rich people, they have figured out something different. They don't just work for money, they make money work for them. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down one of the most powerful money frameworks ever created, called the Cashflow Quadrant. So, if you want financial freedom, it starts right here. Now, Albert Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. If you want to travel to a certain destination, you're not going to pick um, a car or board a matatu that is traveling to an opposite direction and expect to reach to your destination. Yeah. So you are going to look for a plane or a vehicle that is traveling to your destination and board that plane. So if you don't change how you earn your money, nothing in your life will change. Your financial life will remain the same. Okay. Now, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, introduced a simple framework that shows how people earn money and why some build wealth while others stay broke. As you can see on my screen, we have four types of people. We have the employed and the self-employed on one side of the quadrant, and we have the business owners and the investors on the other side of the quadrant. Okay, now listen closely because this is what most people don't know, that 95% of people are on the left side of the quadrant. This is they are either employed or self-employed, but they only control 5% of world's wealth. Meanwhile, on the other side of the quadrant, where we have the business owners and the investors, there are only 5% of people who live there, and they control 95% of wealth. I know these numbers are shocking, but they are real, and they prove that your position in the quadrant matters more than hard work. You come to realize that hard work is just part of the game, but it's not really the most important thing. Now, there's this quote that I love so much. It says, if hard work pays, show me a rich donkey. I think it's one of the most hardworking thing animals, yeah? So it's not just about hard work, it's about working smart. Now, let's break down these quadrants. For the employed, you work for someone else. If you get a job, you trade time for money. You earn, you spend, you repeat. But you see, you have a cap of how much you can make because you only have 24 hours and you are trading your time for money in that single day. So there's a limit on how much you can make on that single day. So you are not going to become really wealthy by being employed, but it's a good place to start. Yeah, you can get employed and decide maybe to move on the other side of the quadrant slowly by slowly. But you see, most people after they get employed, they decide that I'm now going to save and then I'm going to become self-employed. Yeah, where you work for yourself. You are either having a shop or you have your grocery store or you have your cosmetics shop or you are a barber. You are your own boss, but the job still owns you because if you don't show up, you're not going to earn. So it looks like freedom, but you're still inside the rat race, just a better view. So both the employed and the self-employed are stuck in the time for money trap. That is the left side of the quadrant that holds 95% of the people while they fight over the 5% of wealth. Now let's look at the other side of the quadrant, the business owners and the investors. For a business owner is someone who decides to build systems that make money without being there. So you hire people, you automate, and then you scale. Now think of a restaurant, or think of an institution, an educational institution, where you have systems that you have created, you have lecture halls, you have people that you have hired or employed, and then you can be able to scale, you can be able to build in other cities. That is just an example of it, yeah. But that is traditional businesses where you are able to become a business owner. Right now in the internet era, we have systems. We have YouTube is part of a system. It's a system that is created for you, and you can be able to create and become, for example, produce content, and every time people view, you are able to scale in different places and able to make money. That is a system where you have system and people. So you are leveraging on people. That is the most important thing, leveraging on people. We have a business like network marketing. Yes, it's a proven system, for example, where you have companies that create systems for you, and then you are able to scale in and have people, you can be able to be a distributor. Yeah. So these are examples of how you can be able to create a systems. And right now it's much easier to create just system or to have a system because most of these systems have already been created for you. So it's your work now to scale, to automate, to make money and become a business owner. Now we have another part of on this side of the quadrant. We're talking about the investors, where your money works for you so you can earn while you sleep. Okay. Now, in the traditional businesses, we have people investing in real estate and other, where you buy a piece of land somewhere and expect the price of that piece of land to increase in value, and then you can liquidate and get your money back, but of course at a profit. Yeah. Right now, we have crypto, we have stocks, where you are able to multiply your money without your ads in it. So this is the wealth quadrant. This is where the rich live because they have learned that money is a tool, it's not a goal. Okay? Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Interesting, yeah? So this side, the right side of the quadrant, this is where 5% of people live, but they own 95% of the money. And it's not by accident, it's by design. And I say this, if you are able to learn how the rich make money, you are able to do what they do and get the same results. Now, most people stay on the right, on the left side of the quadrant, the employed and the self-employed, because that's what you are taught. Go to school, get a job, work hard, retire. But that's not freedom, that's survival. Yeah, you see, the rich, they think differently, they take risk, they build things, they invest. The difference is not just about money, it's about the mindset. Okay, so if you want new results, you must create new habits. If you want a new future, you must decide to build systems. So the rat race means that you are learning really fast to just stay in the same place. You're learning really fast to just stay in the same place. But there's a way out. You can break out of the rat race. You can start small by reading books. You can start a side hustle. You can learn a high value skill. You can invest a little. Okay? You can build a system slowly or business slowly. You don't need $1 million to begin. You just need $1 million mindset. Okay? Get out of that fear, because the rich don't ask what if it fails, they ask what if it works. Ask yourself as you're venturing into these businesses, what if it works? Yeah, they understand that the biggest risk is not taking a risk. Okay, so if you are truly living, if you are not truly living the life that you want, if you are truly the life, if you are living the life that you settled for, decide that I'm going to start today, to start small, to start reading, to start learning, to start saving, to start investing, to start building. And one day you look back and realize that that one small step changed everything. You are allowed to change your life. You are allowed to think differently. You are allowed to break this cycle. Okay? So the question is, are you going to stay running in circles, or are you ready to step out of the rat race and build your own lane? Now, I hope this video is going to be helpful to you and probably help you understand how you can be able to make money like the rich do. Now, if this helps you, if this video has helped you in any way, kindly hit that subscribe button. This channel is for people like you who choose freedom. Okay, like, comment, and share with someone who is still stuck on the left side of the quadrant. See you in the next video. Bye bye.